welcome to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Hello! I'm here with the wonderful, wonderful Nick Hunter, who is the premier, pretty much one of the best, frankly, developers that you will find in the FileMaker platform. He has years of history. He's worked for Claris and Apple both. He's fantastic. We greatly appreciate having him on here and discussing so many things with us, preparing and doing all that work for these really cool live streams. With that being said, we do have a schedule. Our schedule is we're doing multilingual files. We got multilingual files day 2 and day 3 for Friday and for Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday will be real world. Will be the beginning of real world. I can speak my own language. Customer challenges and FileMaker with Nick. Thursday will be a FileMaker performance day with Hansa. We'll be doing performance things, and then Friday will be actually a FMSP Q&A with John Hogle, because John Hogle's been doing a lot of bug fixing for FMSP recently. So if you'd like to support the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. We got the FM Training TV annual subscription bundle, great for beginners, intermediate, advanced developers. The 100+ hours of really high energy video content. If you know nothing about FileMaker and you go through and do all of our training, you can absolutely begin working on your own projects. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello. So hello everybody for joining today, the second day for the translation, multi-language file with FileMaker. So so today we do how we do multi-language value lists. Okay. So that was Michel Gravel problem when we talked together, and he told me that was his problem, right? And it is a problem. Okay, so but we are going to solve it. So the multi-language file, you have multiple parts, right? It's not one part, because you have fields, buttons, dialogues, and text, all over the place, and you have value lists. Right? So the challenge with the value list is when you get to the point you get value list multi-language, you cannot have what we call custom value lists. So they all need to be on their record level. So you need to learn how to do record level value list. But it's not that complicated. But most of the time, people doesn't know a very specific aspect of the value list in FileMaker, and I'm going to show you now. Okay, so share my screen here. When we do value lists, right? So we have value lists here. We cannot use create a value list and put hello, bye, and have the same for duplicate and say salut, or wow. Okay, so you cannot have what's the name? You cannot have two value lists like this, right? Because to call that, you could do it, right? But to call that means you need to have multiple buttons or multiple fields, because you cannot call on the fly the value list, right? So you can't. So we cannot say value list by name, So we cannot do that, right? So if you put a value list department, for example, you need to say, okay, this pop-up menu, and you say, okay, this will be the department, right? So we cannot say we want another one. So we cannot say define here like here, right? We cannot say, okay, get the value list by name. Right? We cannot. So we can do get the script by name, but we cannot say script value list by name. So that's why we need to come with another technique. The technique is pretty simple. Pretty much, first, what you need to have 3 tables. Okay, so I call them like this. Okay. But one is pretty much the main buckets. Okay. So is this? Let's go there. This is the first one, what I call entity. Okay. So the entity is I want en FR, and if I want to create another one, I want to ES, for example, that would be ES, right? So I have now EN, departments, right? I have FR, department, okay? So pretty much it's very simple. It's related records, right? So you have one table, this one, the entity table, where you have three fields. You know, you have the main ID, right? The magic key to create a record, and then you have the title, whatever you put there, right? So then you have the other one here related to that one. So is this one is the value list, where you have the ID, the main ID of the value list, the foreign key of the entity, another magic key, the title. Okay, those are to create records through the relationship. And then you have the third one where you get the item. So you have the parent key of the item, the foreign key of the list, and the foreign key of the entity, right? So that being said, that's easy. So, and then you have here, I can show you, we have in that table, we have where this is the global where we're going to put the ID, right, of the entity when you click it. And this will be the global for the value list selected. So how it works, see here, when I change this, it changed, okay, and it changed, okay, this. And when I click here, it will change this one, boom, right? So when I click here, boom, I click here, and then I click here, boom, I have another one. So why is because here I have the in system here, I have my free portals. The first, I want to see everything. So here I want to see all. So it's a Cartesian because I want to see all the records and I want to sort them alphabetically. Okay. The second one is this one. We show only the record based on this global here, right? This global. I said I want whatever global here. I want the list related to that ID, right? And the other one, this one, it is two globals. I want the list of this entity, and this value list. So I want a list, a poll that comes with the record from this one and this one, right? So when you click, it change, it change, it change. Okay, so far so good. Do we have any question? I don't think so.
No, you're good.
This is pretty basic. You know, if you have more than 6 months of FileMaker, you know to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So far so good. It's very simple. You know, there's absolutely no complexity here, right? And I want to take this opportunity to see, for example, see here, when I click here, when I change this, typically I would like this to get blanked. You don't want that to stay, right? You want that to be blank. Okay. So how we can blank a field when another field change, right? Without a script. So it's an opportunity for me to show you this. I want this global to blank when I change this one. I go to the auto entry calculation and I put a let. I put a trigger, and the trigger will be whatever field that will decide that I want to blank the current one. And then I said this. I said blank, this blank, double quotes. Of course, I'll remove this. So now, when I change this got blanked. When I click here, I change this got blank. Okay, so you can have this cascading thing if you want to, if this field must blank this one and another one and another one, so you can blank multiple fields like this by coding it the same way I'm doing it, right? So you put on the auto entry calculation and you say, okay, whenever that the field that will trigger the blanking. Okay, pretty much. Okay. So that was a little trick that I want to show you. So now that I have this, how I can decide? So you understand what I've done here. I have departments, and those are the departments in English. And then I have here département in French. And that is the same as this one, but in French, right? Pretty much. So I want to extract this. But first, how I can extract this list, right? How I can extract this department list, right? How I can extract it and put this, make this only this, right? Because if I go and I say value list, I can remove those, and I say go to my items and take everything, right? This is what I get. Can put a test here. This is what I get. I get all. The French, the English, I get everything, right? So I can separate, what I want. Remember, first, what you need to know. Okay? What you need to know is very important. Is that value list can jump context. When you have a value list based on a relationship, right? It jumps context. So I can call any context, even though I have no relationship, right? I don't, here I call valley, okay, from the T106 context. So I'm here. I'm here. Do you see any valley relationship? No. So value list jumps context, right? So I can go and call the value list from any context, right? Okay. So now we have here, we have a global table, Okay. And in this global table, I put fields globals, right? And here, what I need to do, right? What I need to do is to put. So let's go and look the global table. I need to put in one field, right? In one field, I need to put the ID of this record here, the departments, right? Because if I copy the ID, so I have a copy button, so this copy there. Oh, by the way, how to copy a field, because copy needs to be on the layout. But I want to copy because here I can have multiple multiple. I can have this. I can have multiple. So I want to copy whatever ID from a field from that's on the portal. So here and it needs to be there, and it needs to be browse mode. Otherwise, you cannot copy it. So this is a technique. Let's hide this portal here. Here you have a portal. You increase the portal, you put your field here, and I can even remove because I duplicate this, so I duplicate the conditional formatting and can remove it. You put the field you want to copy in browse mode, and you put here, and then see, you hide it. So it's far away, and you hide it like this, right? And you put that back like it was. So this is how this button says, okay, copy, select the copy and select the content of that field. And that field is hidden on the other side. You don't see it, but it's there. So this is how you do. So I want to copy that ID, right? And here I have two fields, right? I have two fields. One is for the entity, this, and one is for this one. I can rename this. This is the list. Okay. This is for the entity, and this is for the list. So I have two globals. Okay. And here I have a relationship, right, based on those two fields to the items, right? So if you go to the items, and I sort by value list, you can see this here, you have one ID, one entity. Let's do this. You have one entity, and here you have another entity, right? So that will be the EN, and that will be the FR, okay? So you have this. And then you have the value list ID and another value list ID, right? So you understand that if I generate a relationship based on those two fields, if I said I want this one and this one, it will select only those records, right? Demonstration. Because I have the relationship that says those two, right? So if I go to my global and I put here in those two, so let's go back to the value. If I put in that relationship here, so that's the two global, right? I put that, not the 3B55 and the D424. I put those two ID here, right? What happened if I see this, right? Yeah. What happened if I do this? This happened. I have only, right? I have only this. What happened if I change? If I say I want this and this? I have French now, right? So if I create another one, like what can we say? Department society. Okay, we can say that. If I go to my system here, and in English, so let's delete those. if in English I said company, okay, company, okay, and I say Apple, type, yeah, company, type of company, whatever, you say, what's the name, what's the name, consultants, and our what can we do? Type of companies are, a
Contract.
corporate. Yeah, exactly. A contractor. This is their supplier. This is their, I don't know, subsidiary. Okay. Okay. So now I have two. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I have two. So now, if I go to here and I see now I have now with the same, what happened here? Okay, yeah. So here, something happened here. Oh yeah, something wrong happened here. But, oh yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I need to do this. I need to do this and this. So okay, to be So if I decide in my global layout, I'm still with the C5, which is in the English, right? No, let's go back to the English. I go to the English, right? And I want this one. Where's the here? I want the value, those three, see, 44, 42, 42, 42. I want this one here. I change, I will have this. If I stay in English and I select this one, I have this. So I'm using relationship with two IDs to select the buckets of relationship that I want, right? Right? The bucket of records I want. So that is pure FileMaker. It's nothing extraordinary. But now, how can I get a value list out of this, right? But it's very simple. I have my relationship here, right? Here. So based on those two globals, pointing to those IDs, right? I want a value list out of this. Okay. So I said, this is a global that, I want this. I want this value list. I want that value list here. I want this one. I want departments. So I have the ID of the departments list. I have the ID of the entity English. That is for that value list. I'm going to value list here, right? Going to value list. And I say, go to the global, what's the name? Relationship. Actually, I have a bug here. Let me fix it. The global is A. Go to the A relationship. Okay, so go to the A relationship, right? And get everything related to global. So this is how value list works. You say, go pick the information in that occurrence. In that occurrence, I want in Valley. I want in Valley. In Valley, I want that. I want value from a field in that occurrence, right? But only the one that are related, only the in that occurrence, yeah, on that occurrence value, only the one that match this two. that match this relationship. So it's going reverse. You go there, only the one related to this, right? You don't say, go there and get me the one related. No, you go there, only the one that goes with the relationship up front here, right? This is how it works. So I say, right here, go to the A, but only the one related to global, right? So how it works, it's very simple. So now I can test my value list. I have my value list. If I change and I say, no, I want the French, and I want this value list. Now I click here, it's French, the same value list. Why? Because I changed the IDs. I changed the IDs, right? So that's how it works, right? You change the IDs on the globals when you change, when you change the what's the name, the language. So now you have a multi-language value list. That's simple, right? It's very, very simple. So when you go, so the difficulty here, is when you switch language, right? When you switch language, right, you need to, what's the name? You need to enhance this, okay? Because here I just reproduce something that I was using in the past, but normally, we should have kind of like the department should have all the same ID and change only this, right? So to make the thing simple. But do we have any questions so far? Yeah, question.
We don't have any questions on YouTube or Twitch.
We have on Discord.
Discord, yep. How do you get multiple value lists on a layout? If a value list is controlled by global fields, if you need 4 drop-down lists displaying different things in the same layout, do you need 4 globals?
Yes, but it's not a problem because they are all. Let's try it. Let's say I need, for example, 4 companies, for example. Okay, so this was that what I was going to. Here, the language, that's the department value list, okay? But I duplicate this, and now I have companies value lists, okay? Of course, you need to have multiple, right? This will be the same. The language, it's the same. But now I have to, so now I have another B, and this is, so this was, sorry, normally I name like this. This is the link for the departments, okay? And this will be the list for the companies, right? So this is B. So what you do, you say whatever language, right? That the entity, and whatever here, the company value list here. So now I have 2, right? So let's try it. So let's remove this for now. So this is the departments. Okay. And now I'm going to create the same for, so that department, and here is the global for the companies, okay? But now I'm going to go to value list, duplicate this, and companies value list. And now I'm changing the link I'm going B, I want the value related to global. So now I have two value lists. So now I can go there, have the same tests, and call it company. Okay? But this will call the company language. Right? So now if I go to company, I copy that ID and I paste it here. Now I have one language with the company and the departments. So department, oh, why is not working? Oh, I'm in French, sorry. So I need to change this one and this one too. So now I have English departments and I have contractor subsidiary suppliers, right? So I have two. And you can do that as many as you want. It's not a problem. I have on all my developments, the global, I'm going something like to BF. You know, I'm doing A to Z, BA to BZ. You know, so it's not a problem to have relationship like this, to have your what's the name, your value list. It's better to use that way, right? You know, I know there's some tricks that you can use and stuff like that, but it's not possible because the value list, right? It's something how you do, because people say, yeah, but you can use the same relationship and change this. Yeah, but as you said, if you have two at the same time, and you need that to be available at the same time, or 3 or 4 or 5, right? And you need that to be available at all time, right? So the thing is when you create this stuff, it's at the beginning when you start the system, or if you have a button that says switch language, right? You can switch language and and then you can say, okay, you remap your globals, right? So you say like I did here, you know, if we can change this, you can change that, right? So you can change when you change the ID, right? When you change the ID. The what's the name? Here what you I need to because I did a mistake when I implemented that. I'm going to fix the bug. I have a bug here that I just realized it. Sorry for that. Because normally I should select the language, right? But I should have been able to put all the what's the name? All the departments with the same ID, right? So let me explain. So the department is this, right? So I need those two, the department in English, in French, and the department in English. I need those two, right, to have the same ID and have only the English difference, not a difference. You understand what I mean? So it's because I'm going to rebuild that for Monday. Okay, I just copy paste and I didn't. It's just a problem. It's a flaw on my design. It's not something. But you understand why I want that to be different, but I don't want that to be different. This one, because now I can do on the fly demonstration. Here is English. And if I do this, it's French. So I don't need to change the second one, just the first one. The first one here, right? Actually, I could do that. I could do the language entity to be what's the name? Like this one, right? How I'm doing this? Okay, yeah. So I can do this. I can say, when I change a language in my global, okay, I go there, right? The language value, and I say I have a auto entry calculation. So I want auto entry calculation. I want to go there because I have a link that goes to the entity table based on the ENFRES, right? So I want this. So I can do this, or I can just do the relookup. Sorry. I'm going there, and I want this, right? So I have a relookup on that field. So that field will change based on this. Why it doesn't change? Yeah, change based on this. So I don't need that anymore. That was a related field. So based on the language, this will change. So on the fly, this is EN. On the fly, this is FR, right? See, I changed it on the fly. So I had a flaw on my design here because I had a different ID here but they should have, departments should have all the same ID, right? So pretty much what I need to do, that's good because it's a good case scenario. I need to reverse those two. I need to have department first, right? And then ENFR, and then company ENFR, So I made the mistake, so I need to change that. So I will change that. So I will change that for Monday. So do we have any question there? So now no question. So of course that now works for any type of we can have a checkbox, So yeah, checkbox company department language. Okay. So you have checkbox like this. So you change ENFR. You see, you change. So you can have everything that is what's the name? Everything that is value list related, right? So I can have the same with a radio button. Okay. So that's the same, right? Everything works. So no questions. So now you understand. For the value list, right? It's pretty easy because you create your records, right, on the system. So you create them, right, and you put your language, and then just what you need to do is one relationship for each value list has to have one relationship. That's the only, let's say, downside of this, right? Because if you have 10 value lists or 15 value lists, you need, right? But you cannot do otherwise. Oh yeah, I wanted to answer a question of yesterday, and I might not have answered correctly. Somebody in the audience, I don't remember who, said that how we can treat the generic fields, right? The field that it repeats itself every time, right? Our generic fields is like new, delete, print. You repeat, right? So when you go to the language string here, right? You can have for what's the name? Here I have labels, right? But you can have generic fields, right? Like this. You can have a generic fields in the language. Generic strings. Right? So you create this. and you put there your generic strings. Okay, so you separate from the list here. You separate this, and you put the generic first. Okay, and that will be the generics. And then here, in the generics, you can put the most, you know, yes, no, you know, all the most generics. So you have on one separate field, you have the generic. So it's easier for you to retrieve them, right? So if you want yes, no, I don't know, yeah, we can, you know, print or delete or list, form, sort, filter. So all those generic fields like this, right? So the field that they repeat themselves, right? So when you go there now to retrieve them, so if I want a sort button like this, you know, if I want a sort button, I'm going there in my table language here, right? And I said I want the generic strings, and let's say I want the sort button, for example. No, I want the sort. Okay, so the sort is the string 7. Okay, so I want the string 7. I copy this, paste it, and now I have a sort button here. No. Let me see. Did I do a mistake? Generic strings 7. I don't know. Oh, I'm in French. Sorry. Yeah, but it doesn't come. Why? Translation EN. String 7. Well, okay. Don't want to work. Yeah, I don't know. T0 saying D. Generic code. Language code. Generic string 7. It's weird. Of course, you want to make me lie. Okay, it doesn't work. Why? Generic? I don't know. That's super weird. Everything works, but this one, no. Why? Somebody knows why? Generics 27. I don't know. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't work. F4 is yes. No, it doesn't work. Okay. No, I don't know. Why? That weird. Somebody knows why? Global.
Any ideas, anyone?
Yes. Yes. No. Nothing works. Yen translation. Oh, I duplicate. Okay, that are. I duplicated I duplicated the what's the name? Okay, now it will work. Bingo. I duplicate the same record, and one has it and the other one doesn't. So now it will work. It will work. So here I have a sort button, right? And you can have all the buttons you want like this, right? So that's the beauty of this. And you say, okay, you want 6, right? 22. Okay. So see, you have button like this. And if you translate it, you know, so you go, you see the translation here, you want the sort to come. So here in French, yeah, and formula. So now here, French, English. Okay. So you have another field for the generic fields, right? So it's then you don't you can split like this multiple, so like I did here, you can split as much as you want, right? You have the generic, you have the label, you have the titles, for example, so you want let's say you want titles, right? Like, the area, you want title, like this one, for example, here you have a title, right? Title, and you want something like this, right? So, title, whatever, you have a title like this, right? So this is contacts info, for example, right? So you want to translate this, so it's a title. So what you do, right? You go to the language strings and you add title strings, and you continue like this, right? Title strings, and you go there and you say 100. Now you have this, you go back to your layout here and you add the strings. So you can modify this. This is the title strings, right? So you put that titles, right? And then you can continue. And you say, okay, this you said in English is contact info, okay? Info, contact info, here, for contact. Okay, so now you have this, and so you can go back here and you paste this and you look for the title strings, and you have the strings title, right? Contact info, and then French. Okay. So it's so you can enhance this, little by little like this, and you can have, of course, you can enhance the presentation here. I'm doing just generic things, okay, you can, but I like the list view, because the list view, you can do something like this, you can move this. You don't need that so big, so you move this here, right? So, and you can move this a little bit down like this. You put more space in between, right? So you can read it easily, right? So you have project, you have translation. So every single language like this. So what I will do Monday, okay? I want to show you something that's cool. I want to translate this, right, in English, right, in Spanish, for example. So it's not implemented yet. I'm doing that this weekend. So I want the labels, for example, in Spanish, for example. I don't have the language. I want it. So pretty much what we do, we select the labels is there, right? I go to that file that I built, and you paste this, and you want in Spanish. So you have it now. So now you want the Spanish. Okay, I will do that automatically, but I want to show you. I have some time, so I want the Spanish, the label. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. And this. And this. Ciudad. Código postal. And país. Okay, so now, if I go to my translation and I put yes, boom. Oh, why not? Oh, yeah, sorry. Where the yes, yeah, I need to put the translation here. Okay, boom. Now I am in Spanish, so I've here, right? So that will be Monday when I will build something to go to that website, suck the information, and change the language, because we have all these languages. If I want in no, Russian we cannot. if I want in Chinese, boom, I'm in Chinese. This is Chinese. I have my system in Chinese. So it's very simple. So question. No, we don't have any questions. So
we've got one actually real quick. Duplicated layouts names, question marks.
Or if you have the same two times the same layout.
Oh, David Angel deleted it. I guess you might have already answered it.
No, why it wasn't working is because I forgot to put the name of the layout.
Oh, I see. It wasn't a question referring to I got it. Okay, cool.
No,
never mind. In that case, there are no questions.
No, okay. So yeah, it was just for I wanted to do the value list alone to make sure that people will get it, So now you get it. It's not that complicated. I'm going to fix my issue I have in the file. So I'm going to give you the file tomorrow or Monday. I'm going to give the file Monday. I'm going to give the file, the whole file with the implementation of getting this automatically. Because now you understand how easy it is to translate. You send everything to the website, you return it. It's for example, let's say we have some time, we can play a little bit. Let's say I'm receiving that list, right? So let's put a global here. Let's create a global. G translated strings. Okay. Anyway, I will have to build it. So anyway, so let's say I'm getting this. I'm getting this from the website. Let's go back to Spanish. So I'm getting this from the website. Okay, so I have this from the website. And I want to go there. So let's delete this. I want a new, and I said it's yes on translation. Okay. And I want to fill up this. So the thing, just I need to take and I have a new script here, right? That says, actually, I don't even need a script. I go there. I have to do this, so I'm doing it with you. Labels, and I have an auto entry calculation, right? And I have a trigger, so I need a trigger. Why a trigger? So we have a many webinar based on this technique. So I have a trigger, I have a field. Typically, I'm putting that a timestamp, and I'm using that field as a last modification to tell me, when was the last modification. Actually, I don't need to do that. So that field it's not a global, it's a real field. I use that as a trigger, and then I'm going to the label, right? And here I have an auto entry calculation, right? And I said get value. I'm just, I have to do that. So instead of doing it by myself, I'm doing it in front of me. The list of value is whatever is in here, and the value number is get repetition. Repetition number. I think so. Get active repetition number. I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, see, I need to, so if I have the trigger here, I'm going there. I don't know if that'd be possible, by the way, because I can't set fields. I can't set field trigger, and I want to do this. No, not current timestamp. Okay. So if I'm there, I'm doing this. No, it doesn't work. I need to work on this. But anyway, I can, it doesn't come to me. But anyway, so that's what I will do. I'm going to pull every single items from here, and I'm going to fill up here. And I might do a loop. I don't know. We'll see. So that was the Friday kind of webinar,
Yes.
quiet.
No, absolutely.
And yeah. So you see what I'm facing all the time. But I'm not going to do a set field. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to come with something cleaner than this. Because the repeating field is kind of it's weird, because I cannot use it's active repetition number and I can't do this. I can do that on the calculation. If that was a calculation, I could have done this. But now I cannot do this because I don't have the repetition. Get repetition. Yeah, but I need a loop. Yeah, I need a loop. Okay. That will be the surprise for Monday. Okay, that's my challenge for Monday. And the next week, but next week we have an interesting webinar, by the way. The challenge, right? The challenge is what, Tuesday, right?
Yes.
March?
Yeah. No, it's Tuesday. Sorry, I was just looking at like the schedule, going like, what's happening?
Yeah. No, it's that would be interesting because it's but it's for very advanced people. Huh? But I want to demonstrate how I'm reasoning. Pretty much, I want people to put to get on my shoe. To get on my shoe, I receive a challenge. How we can fix this, and try to find the best and the most elegant way to do that, right? And most of the time, if you do the right thing from the beginning, right, that always a problem. Do the right thing from the beginning, and then you get the thing done with a little bit of reasoning. So it's that's what I want to show. I want to show the right technique based and in the reasoning, the logic, right? Get a logic. That's the most complicated thing to do. Get the logic out of a problem, right? So that will be interesting next week.
Yes, that'll be really quite fun. Thank you very much, Nick. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for doing all 5 days this week. I know that must have been a lot of work, so thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm going to share, and then I hope everyone has a good weekend. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye, Ben.
Bye-bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.